Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of Suddenly Super here on Dismagia Zach. Let's dive into it. Disappearing in public at a party you didn't have permission to go to? What were you thinking? Helen was gripping the steering wheel tightly at 10 and 2, her eyes on the road as they sped away from Matt's house. Next to her, Violet's body was finally visible again, but she almost wished it weren't. It was an accident. How did you find me anyway? Violet eyed her mother, taking in her attire. She was wearing a pink bathrobe and slippers, and her short red hair was in curlers, her face free of makeup. Did you follow me the entire time? No, her mum said sarcastically. I happened to be taking a drive through the neighbourhood when I saw a girl running with no head and no hands, and I put two and two together. Mum, Violet moaned, how could you? I thought you were in trouble. Her mum sounded exasperated. Calling the house and saying you were seeing a later mover, I could hear the lie in your voice. Lucy. Violet wasn't going to give her up, but she should have known the Violet imitation wouldn't have worked. No one put over on Helen Parr. I wasn't in trouble, Mum. Jeez, I know what to do if I'm in trouble. Not in trouble? You're running without a head. It's a good thing I found you when I did. Violet called Mrs. Caruso across the street to stay with your brothers while I sped over here. Someone could have seen you, and do you know what would have happened then? Yes, accident revealing my powers is all I ever think about. Unlike Dad, who is the reason we keep having to move. Violet volleyed back. Now hold on. It's been a few years since that last move, her mum corrected her. Your dad's been much better about keeping his powers under wraps. Her mum tried to sound sure of herself, but Violet had her number on this one. She heard her parents argue about the use of powers before. My point is, I was running so no one would see me without my head. How did you track me anyway? She grumbled. Using one of your super gadgets, weren't you? Supers are illegal. They're gadgets too, by association, her mum said stiffly. I would never do something illegal to find my daughter, who wasn't where she said she'd be the first night I gave her a freedom. Violet didn't buy it. What did you use? Her head swerved to the back seat to look for evidence. She immediately spotted a small black gadget with a tiny screen. Gadget looked like a small TV with a map of Metroville on it. A small red flashing light moved across the screen, showing where they were driving. Violet suspected she was the target. She'd only seen a homing device like this once before in her dad's office. Her dad had actually blown up when he'd caught Violet tampering with its buttons. Apparently the devices were illegal, just like Super's, but your mum still had theirs. One track dad, one track mum, but neither have used the items in years. Aha! Violet reached for it. Her mum got to it first, extending her arms to 4 times its length, gripping the gadget, which she placed in her lap. Nothing to see here. Violet sighed. This is what she got for having Elastigirl for a mother. It was clearly a homing device, but it still didn't explain how her mum had bugged her. Violet looked down at what she was wearing and spotted a small yellow peace button on her jacket. She didn't have a peace pin. Of course, Mum. You're using a homing device on me? They're illegal. You said to never touch one. I said not to touch one unless there were an emergency. This was an emergency, her mum countered. Do you have an idea how worried I was when I realised you weren't at the theatre? I thought you'd been kidnapped. Violet folded her arms across her chest. Mum, geez, you're so dramatic. I was fine. I was with Carrie and Lucy. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Mum's eyes bulged. Why were you with Lucy? So Lucy wasn't at the movies? Did you go with her to a high school party? She wished Lucy was here right now so she could say, I told you so. Her mum was not okay with Violet going to a party just because she was with Lucy. We were only going for an hour, and Lucy was with me the whole time. Okay, not true, but details weren't necessary. You went to a party for an hour? Her mum braked hard at the light, sounding even more unhappy. In 1 hour, you dissipated in front of people and could have blown everything. She shook her head. Violet rolled her eyes at the window. Wasn't lying to your parents about where you were a teen milestone. Thanks to being a super, she missed out on even that rite of passage. Well, you don't have to worry. I'm never going to a party again. I'm never going out again. I will stay home forever. Her mother's tone changed. Violet. No, Violet boomed. It's your fault anyway. Make friends, you said. Meet people. How can I meet people? Hang out when any time I get nervous or excited. My emotions get the best of me and I despair. Her mum looked at her, frowning. Do you know how stressful it is worrying about revealing my powers accidentally all day, every day? To be afraid I'll say the wrong thing in class and disappear out of embarrassment? She thought of Tony. I'll pass someone in the hall and panic and lose my head. She was on a roll now. It's all I ever think about. I know I'm not supposed to use my powers. I don't even want them. You want us to act normal, Mum, but I want to be normal. I didn't realise your abilities were causing you so much stress. Mum's voice was lower now. Why didn't you say something? What was I supposed to say? Can I give them back? We both know that's not an option. I know that, but your father and I could have worked with you on how to control them. Your father would love that job, her mum said wryly, and they both knew why. Her dad seemed to miss being a super more than anything. Sometimes Violet caught him in his office, which held all his super memorabilia, just staring at memories from his past. I don't want to get better at our powers. I wish I didn't even have them. Our powers cause nothing but trouble. That's not true, her mum started to say. You know it is, Violet argued. Our powers are why we've moved so many times, and why Dad was sued all those years ago and supers had to disappear. She folded her arms across her chest. I hate having powers. She stared at the dashboard, refusing to look at her mum. The silence between them made the car engine sound much louder. Violet didn't care. She was mad. Her mum finally spoke. I know this isn't easy, and the fact that supers are illegal makes it even harder, but your identity is your most precious gift. To fit in here, in Metroville, we have to be like everybody else. Maybe if we work on controlling your powers, you'll feel more comfortable around your friends. But regardless of how powers do or don't make you feel, nothing gives you the right to lie about where you are. Violet didn't answer, which felt her stomach clench. Lying about your whereabouts was something a super never did. Her parents had ingrained that into all three Park kids from the moment they could walk and talk. Supers, illegal or not, would always be a target. Making sure someone knew where they were at all times was not only smart, it could mean the difference between life and death. That's why her parents always had comms links on them, even though they were retired. I'm sorry things have been hard for you. I don't mean to make things more difficult, but you can't lie. I'm a mum. It's my job to worry. Even though I know we're in a safe, even though I know we're safe, even though I know we're safe in Metroville, and no one knows who we really are, sometimes I can't help but think. She trailed off. Curious, Violet finally turned to her. Think what? It's silly, really. Her one made a hard right onto another street, making Violet tumble slightly. You've heard your father mention Mastermind before, right? Violet resisted the urge to roll her eyes. Only about 1,000 times. Dad brings up stories about supervillains at least once a week. Well, I fought Mastermind too. There was this one time, right after your father and I were married, before we held you. Mastermind and I were doing the dance we always did. Mastermind steals something, we get it back, and Mastermind said something I still think about to this day. You fear me now? Wait till you'll have children. You'll never sleep again. I still think about that. But hasn't Mastermind been missing for like 15 years? As long as you've been retired? Val asked. Yes, but when you're a mum, you never stop worrying. She glanced at Violet again. I want you to have friends and enjoy yourself, but you can't lie to me, V. And you cannot disappear from parties. Do you understand me? I understand, Violet said, getting annoyed again. We can't use a homing device to track me. You have to trust me. I left the party when I lost my head, but I was going to go back for Carrie before you forced me into the car. We're supposed to walk back to the movies together. She's probably looking for me. Violet was guessing her mum was going to ground her and take away her phone privileges, which meant she wouldn't be able to call Carrie and apologise. She'd have to wait till Monday to talk to Carrie at lunch, and by then, Carrie was probably going to be so mad at her she wouldn't want to sit with her. Thought of eating alone in the canteen was terrifying. What am I going to say when Carrie starts asking questions about where I went? Pat's head began to flutter again at the thought. What if she or someone else saw me lose my head? What if everyone at school is talking about me, or won't talk to me, because they saw me run out of a party? Violet, stop whining. Her mum stopped short at the next stop sign and sighed deeply, her head hitting the steering wheel on purpose. Violet could see her mum's face illuminated in the streetlight. Her expression was fraught. Something else was wrong besides his party business. Mum? I'm fine. Her mum's muffled voice came from the leather steering wheel. It's been a long day that has now been made longer. She lifted her head. She lifted her head and looked at Violet. Between you and I, your dad's. Oh, between you and your dad, I. Dad? What's wrong with Dad? Is Dad okay? Her mum paused, seemingly choosing her words carefully. He's either in trouble or he's about to be. She looked at Violet. I have to meet him at his conference tomorrow, which means I'm going to be gone all day. I was going to leave you in charge of Dash and Jack Jack. After the stunt you pulled tonight, I don't know if that's a good idea. I'll ask Mrs. Caruso to watch the three of you. Mrs. Caruso? Mum, no. Thought of spending all Saturday with her elderly neighbour watching TV game shows at full volume sounded like the worst day ever. She smells like black licorice. No one likes black licorice. I'm old enough to watch Dash and Jack Jack. I'm responsible. Her mum snorted. Responsible? Is that what you call sneaking off to a party? A car horn jolted them both, and Mum started to Started to drive again, making the last turn onto their street. Violet could see their house up ahead, the lights on, soft glow of the TV flashing. Mrs. Crusoe was probably watching sitcoms with Dash. If only Violet had stayed home with Dash, she wouldn't have had to worry about revealing her powers or talking to other people. She wouldn't be in this mess. Didn't her mum realise that? Mum, Violet began again. Violet, that's enough for tonight. She sounded deflated. I don't want to argue anymore. I'm asking Mrs. Caruso. Mum, please. Violet's own voice matched her mother's quieter tone. Maybe she was contrite. Her mum would change her mind. I'm sorry about the party, but you know I am capable of watching Dash and Jack Jack. I've babysat them before. Carrie babysits all the time. I'm 14. I can handle my brothers for one lousy day. I mean, one great day, she corrected herself. Her mum studied her for a moment, drumming her fingers on the steering wheel. All right, you can watch them. Yes, Violet thought. Whole Saturday on her own. No chores, no mum vacuuming under a seat. Maybe she could even sleep in and convince Dash to take care of Jack Jack in the morning. She told him he could eat all that sugary cereal Mum kept on a high shelf in the kitchen. And after lunch, she'd put Jack Jack in a pram and walk over to Carrie's to apologise. I promise you won't regret this. I'm going to do a great job. That time Jack Jack's nappies exploded at the grocery store in aisle 3 wasn't my fault. Dash forgot to put more nappies in the bag even though I had told him to, and they, her mum put a cool hand on Violet's own. I'm not worried about exploding nappies. Just promise me you'll keep your brothers safe. Safe? Mum, please. Violet resisted the urge to roll her eyes again. I know to keep Dash away from the stove now. I won't let him try to make lasagna again. I don't mean the stove, her mum interrupted, her words slowing. I mean keep them safe in case anything happens. If you don't hear from me or your dad by bedtime, or at all tomorrow, in case anything happens. What was Mum getting at? Was this all about the supervillain again? Mum, Mastermind is retired just like you. Stop worrying someone is going to grab us all the time. It's not about Mastermind, her mum said. Violet had been made mad at her mum 2 minutes ago. Sorry, no, that's not what it says. Violet may have been mad at her mum 2 minutes ago, but now she was concerned. Is it Dad? Is he in danger? No, her mum said, but she didn't make eye contact. I just haven't been able to reach him, which is why I'm going to see him in the morning. I'm sure he's fine. There's plenty of leftovers. I've written out Jack Jack's schedule already and left it in my office. I'll be back late tomorrow, but if you don't hear from me, put the boys to bed. And why wouldn't I hear from you? Violet asked. What wasn't her mum telling her? Her mother shook her head. I'm sure I'm just being paranoid, but it's always better to be prepared. For what? Now Mum was really starting to freak her out. Violet, please, her mum's voice sharpened. Pay attention to what I'm saying. If anything is wrong, call Lucius. His number is on the board next to the kitchen phone. Tell him you haven't heard from me or Dad. He'll know what to do. What's going on? Violet tried again. Her mum kept going, not answering the question. And if you can't reach Lucius, go to Dad's office and try me on the comms link, but only in an emergency, Violet said for her. Her mum was a broken record about the comms link. All super gadgets, really. Atta girl. You remember what it looks like, right? Black flashlight with a red button on top? Yes, I remember. Well, why wouldn't I be able to reach you? Violet pressed. Because I'm flying a jet. I might not be able to answer, Mum said, her irritation returning. If you don't answer the comms link, Mum? Violet was getting scared now. Everything's going to be fine, her mum smiled. I'm just giving you a worst case scenario. That's what mums do. Focus on your brothers tomorrow. That's your job. I will, Violet said, her stomach relaxing. It was just like her mum to be paranoid. Then she thought of something promising. Hey, if I do a good job, does that mean I'm no longer grounded? Her mother gave her a look. Oh no, after tonight's done, you're grounded indefinitely.